Good morning and welcome back to Monday's edition of Shine. Now don't forget, we're live with you every Monday and Friday from 10 a.m. And as Derek says, put it in the diary so you don't forget.
Definitely. 4 winners are very, very glad that they were with us this morning so far, because they're going to have whiter, brighter smiles, fingers crossed.
They will do, I have faith.
Now, it is, I've been practicing through the break, Fairtrade Fortnight here on Shine.
Well done. It is harder than it sounds to say that, isn't it? And to celebrate that, I'm going to be cooking us some mango and banana chutney in the kitchen. It already smells amazing, and I've got a little bit prepared, but I'll be showing you how the best ways to do that in a few minutes. But you, first of all, mister, are in fact doing an interview.
I am. I'm going. No, I'm not going yet. We're cooking first, aren't we? We're doing this first.
Right.
Yes, we've got to start it, haven't we? She's been just sending me off.
Sorry. Well, a lady's place is in the kitchen,
I'll
isn't it?
stay.
Right, so I'm going to do a tiny bit of oil. Here, just to heat up the pan.
Okay.
To heat up in the pan. And
so,
then I'm going to put the onion in there. Do you want me to show you the correct way to chop an onion?
Chutneys are long cooking things, really, aren't they? It takes a long time to cook.
The actual preparation isn't that bad at all, but you just have to leave it. So I'm just going to show you the right way to chop an onion. I've done half an onion. Peel it, cut the onion in half, and this is the best way to stop it, because you have to do little cubes, you have to do them small.
Fairtrade onion?
Fairtrade onion, because you don't want chunks of onion in chutney, because that would be very sort of bitter and harsh.
Although it softens though nicely, doesn't it?
It does soften, but you still want them nice and small, I think. So cut it in half, obviously once you've peeled it, and do it down like this. And keep the end bit on there. Can you see that? Keep that on, because it holds everything together.
Have to say a big thank you to our friends at the cooperative as well, who supplied the Fairtrade products that we're using today. Very kind of them.
So follow the lines. You'll notice on an onion, you actually have lines going down, going that way across. So just follow that, because that's sort of nature's guide for you. So you've cut it that way. Cut it through like that, so that you're not going to have any chunks. So you've cut it through there and through there.
Let me just for a second squeeze hands. There we go.
Hold it all together. And then chop it down, and you've got lovely little cubes. See? So very easy way to cube up your onion. And of course, onion is the first thing you should do with this, because as Derek said, it needs to soften. So you need it to give it that little bit more time. Thank you.
There we go.
There we are. So we've got loads of little cubes of onion.
Okay, let's start cooking them.
Right, okay.
Leave the rest. Let's start.
I'm going to pop a knob of butter in there as well.
Okay.
So
it's butter and oil together.
Yes. The oil, sizzling away nicely, yeah. The oil obviously will provide lubrication to fry the onions in, and the reason butter's so good is that because you've got the dairy in there, it gives more of a creamy sort of texture to it.
Okay, so in with the onions.
So pop the onions in.
So they're just going to soften.
They're just frying onions. Okay, there we are.
Okie dokie.
Well, they're frying, but I might have to turn that down quite a lot.
Sharpen that shot a little bit, my lovely.
There we are. So they're just going to fry nicely in there. The pan has been very hot, so it shouldn't take long at all.
Jolly good.
Okay.
What's
now
next?
We need to cut up a mango. This is difficult as well. The mango, if you know much about mango, the stone's right in the middle. Yeah. So we have to cut along like this.
Oh, look at that. So it's good ripe mango, that.
Isn't it?
Nice Fairtrade mango as well.
Feel the mango first. If you're going to use it straight away, you want it to be nice and soft. If you're going to wait a few days, you want it to be nice and firm, because it will ripen.
Oh, they smell so wonderful.
I'm just going to show you, Derek, how to cut a mango correctly. Okay. You do it like that, and you cut it through here like that. Yeah. Okay, keeping the skin intact at the bottom, as we can see there. Cut across this way as well.
Yeah.
Like that. As again, keeping the bottom intact. And then flip it out like a hedgehog. And then you can
just
chop
cut
off the little bits.
The skin.
Yeah. Like that, to be careful.
You're clever, aren't you?
See, the boys didn't think I'd be able to show them.
Have you been practicing this all weekend?
And I learnt this at school when I was younger.
Oh.
So
see, I did home economics as a GCSE and failed it miserably.
Oh, you failed?
I did.
You fail?
That's a beautiful shot, my Puri. That's lovely.
There we are. Now you can do this a bit neater. I'm obviously rushing a little bit because I just want to get ahead of myself.
Okay.
And then chop those up.
Do you want me to do anything?
So, I need to do the other one. Do you want to have a go of doing that? Do you want to see if you can do that? Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Just cut across there.
Okay. What can you do in the meantime?
Just check that the onion's fine. Chop everything up. I've done the banana in the break. That's been chopped up nice and fine as well, because you do want the banana to go nice and soft. There we are. Well done. Just do the lines a little bit closer. Oh, you're just doing it for time. There we are. Fantastic. And flip it out. Oh. Like a hedgehog. Oh, there we are. See? How easy is that? And even if you're not making chutney, if you're just making mango for fruit salad or something, that's a great way to cut it up.
It's really simple, actually, isn't it?
Okay.
And of course, whenever you like, you can just
So my onions are getting nice and fried there, going nice and soft.
Okay.
Okay. And then we need to add some spices. Now I've got 3 different spices in here. We've got the cayenne pepper, we've got the nutmeg, and we've got the cloves. Okay, so that in there.
What have you got there?
Cayenne pepper, cloves, and nutmeg.
Cayenne?
Is that how you pronounce it?
I think. Do you mean cayenne?
Oh, I was saying Kanye like the singer.
Like the
no?
singer.
That's wrong.
Kanye,
okay.
Kanye West.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
So that's,
I just want to make sure everyone's getting the right thing.
No, you're right. That's how I've always pronounced it.
They're looking for a wrapping spice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, there we are. So that's going nicely. Okay,
some
now
more
do you want to add the mango into there?
Have you got enough mango?
Can we do a little bit more?
Okay,
I'll pop that in.
you put that in and
there we are.
you hum it, I'll
you
play
do it a little more because obviously it is mango and banana chutney, so you want to do that.
Okay.
While the mango's softening in there, I'm going to chop up another banana for us.
I might try and be a bit quicker with this one and just peel it on the outside.
Yeah, no, you have to do that because obviously you've got the stone, massive stone in the middle. So mango always looks a lot bigger than it actually is because of the stone taking up so much quantity.
La la la, be careful, never cut
there.
towards you, of course.
Of
I know that
course.
people will write and
Can
tell
you
me.
see this? And you'd never think, would you, to put mango and onion together? Such a strange combination.
But with chutneys you can put sweet and savoury, can't you?
Exactly, that is the whole sort of point of it. So you can see it cooking nicely there.
That was so good.
Now you're just going to pop that in. And then I'm going to add some vinegar.
I want to get round the stone.
300 millilitres of vinegar. So pop that in there. Oh, you can hear it sizzling away. I'm just estimating how much. The good thing about, well, like all cooking really, you don't always have to kick so much to the measurements. It's sort of going with your instinct. If you feel that you need a bit more sugar to sweeten something up, then put a bit more sugar in to sweeten it up. That's what it's all about.
You can always add, but you can never take away.
Exactly.
Wish my hairdresser had taken that advice.
Hair looks lovely.
Seem to have
so
forgotten
there we are. Well, it's very strong smelling, that vinegar, isn't it? And you need to reduce the vinegar, so I'm going to turn the heat up a little bit.
Shall I put some more mango
Yes,
in?
please.
There you go.
Because we want to reduce it, so we want all the sort of liquid in it to evaporate, leaving the rest of the vinegar. So are you popping across now?
That's lovely.
Yeah?
I'll be off now
So I'm
then.
going to leave that to reduce,
Thank
so I
you.
can leave it alone for a little bit.
So we shall leave
Get on with
that
chopping up
and see, and we'll come back to that in a wee while. In the meantime, can I say very, very good morning to my guest, who's Bruce Crowther. You work for Oxfam, and you are here today on behalf of the Fairtrade Foundation as well. My microphone's not working, so I can't. What do I do now then? Hang on a second. Hello, am I back? I'm back. Right, okay, sorry about that. Hello, Bruce, welcome. You're from the Fairtrade Foundation as well, aren't you? And you're from Britain's first fair trade town, aren't you, which is Garstang in Lancashire?
That's right, I live in Garstang.
That's where it all began.
Just up the road, yeah.
2001. How did it all come about? I mean, obviously, ethically, everyone, I think, understands what a fair trade town is and what fair trade, the term, means. But how did it all start in Garstang?
Well, in Garstang, it was really just from the Oxfam group. We were a bunch of campaigners trying to get people to use fair trade products, and I have to say in the early days not succeeding. So we eventually persuaded everybody in Garstang, the churches, the schools, the council, local businesses to use fair trade products or sell them when they could do.
It is a case of kind of galvanising support for something like this, because it's something that initially people don't understand, and I think people treat it a little bit like organic, don't they? They expect it to be terribly, terribly expensive, but actually ethically behind fair trade ever so important, isn't it?
Absolutely, and I think the understanding is very, very important. I mean, I firmly believe, which is why I do this, that if everybody understood what was happening in the world and what fair trade was doing, just everybody in the world would support fair trade.
And it's very simple to do now, isn't it? It's not
Absolutely.
like you go to, I think people have a picture, maybe a traditional picture in their minds of what a fair trade store or shop would look like. And actually now you can go into pretty much any supermarket and fair trade products are now available, aren't they?
Absolutely, very widespread. It's not just coffee, tea and sugar anymore. It's a number of things. I mean, yes.
And there are now, I mean, obviously Garstang was the first fair trade town in 2001, and there are now 468
in the UK and
right.
777 in 19 countries across the world.
Which is incredible, isn't it? Which
Absolutely.
means obviously the wealth is, which actually means it's not terribly difficult to achieve either, really. It's a very few simple changes and galvanising the community, it sounds like.
Yeah, I think getting fair trade town status, they do have to work hard for that. It's not
Yes.
an easy thing to do. It's something that anybody can do.
Yes.
I think that's the important thing. It's not exclusive in any way, but it is a difficult achievement, and when you have achieved it, it really does mean something.
Yes, it does. There's almost a sense of, maybe an old-fashioned term, but a civic pride in actually having that kind of status. Now, in terms of what the status means actively in the community, it doesn't just mean, okay, well, we've got one shop in a village which will have fair grain, fair trade chocolate or fair trade cereal. It means a lot more than that, doesn't it?
It does. I think what's the strength of Fairtrade Towns, it's about the whole community. It's not about churches, it's not about schools or the council, it's about all of those and a lot more. And what that really means, and the strength of this, is that everybody, absolutely everybody, all your viewers out there, they can all be part of a Fairtrade Town campaign.
What?
Manchester is, of course, the 100th Fairtrade city in the world.
Which is twinned up with Salford
yes,
as well,
so Manchester and Salford jointly became the 100th Fairtrade city in 2005. So all your viewers outside Manchester in Fairtrade cities across the world, they can all be a part of their local campaign.